Clifton Powell, the man who once stood beside legends like Jamie Foxx and Ice Cube, only to find his entire world collapse overnight. What really happened to the actor who could play anyone, from villain to hero? And why did the industry turn its back when he needed it most? Clifton Powell's journey began far from fame. Born in Southeast Washington, D.C., he grew up surrounded by hardship. His mother passed away when he was just 4, leaving him in the care of a struggling father. For most kids, that would have been the end of the road. But for Powell, it was only the beginning of a fight to survive and eventually to shine. When he burst onto the screen in the early 1990s, audiences couldn't look away. His breakout role in Menace II Society was raw, electric, and unforgettable. Powell wasn't just acting, he was living the truth of the streets he came from. Hollywood took notice. Soon, he became a familiar face in films like Friday, Dead Presidents, and Rush Hour. Directors loved him, audiences loved him, and his peers respected him for one reason: authenticity. Then came Ray in 2004. Powell's performance as Jeff Brown earned him an NAACP Image Award nomination and solidified his status as one of Hollywood's most dependable character actors. He'd done it. He had escaped the shadows of his past and carved out a legacy of his own. In 2011, the headlines hit like a lightning bolt. A woman accused Powell of a serious crime, claims he would deny for years to come. The news spread fast, carried by sites like TMZ, with stories that left no room for doubt. Overnight, the man who once made audiences laugh was now fighting for his reputation and his livelihood. The criminal investigation was dropped for lack of evidence. No conviction, no jail time. But Hollywood didn't wait for the facts. Producers backed away, roles disappeared, and the phone stopped ringing. Powell said later that it was like being sentenced without a trial, convicted by public opinion alone. For 4 years, the civil case dragged on. Even after it was thrown out, the damage was done. Powell had lost not just money, but trust, the one thing every actor in Hollywood depends on to survive. He called it a sentence without guilt, and in many ways, it was. His career never truly recovered. But that wasn't the only battle he faced. He spoke openly about discrimination in Hollywood, how he was told he was too dark for certain roles or too intimidating for mainstream audiences. It wasn't just racism, it was systemic exclusion baked into the business. He saw talented black actors pushed aside, while lighter-skinned counterparts got the lead roles. The irony? Hollywood praised him for playing tough characters, but refused to see him as a romantic lead or a hero. And then there were the personal demons: gambling, failed relationships, and loss. His marriage to Kimberly Powell ended in divorce, costing him millions. He later admitted that fame had pulled him away from his family, that he wasn't there for his children the way he should have been. The glitz of success had hidden a man quietly falling apart inside. When you look at the whole picture, Clifton Powell's story isn't just about one man's downfall. It's about how fragile a Hollywood dream can be. How one accusation, one rumor, or one bad headline can erase decades of work. Powell was cleared in court, but not in the industry. In the end, the real punishment wasn't legal. It was emotional, professional, and deeply personal. And yet, even through it all, Powell never stopped working. His name may not always headline the marquee, but his legacy lives in every film he touched, in every performance that reminded audiences why he mattered. Because for Clifton Powell, survival has always been the real story. If you found this story as moving as we did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Hollywood Star News. We'll be back soon with more stories behind the stars.